How did I get here? How did a weekend getaway with my fiancé and my best friend result in me questioning whether I would ever see my family again? How did everything go so wrong? You need to take a break out of this OCD persona you have and come enjoy some time with your two favorite people, Leo's voice insisted. So, I embraced the spontaneity, much like I did with him as a child, despite the predicted forecast. Flashback to my happy childhood, full of cotton candy memories and family vacations. Like most kids my age, I absolutely adored all things Disney, as did Leo. Leo had been my best friend since we were 9, and countless hours were spent watching and rewatching many Disney movies. So, when my parents surprised me with a trip to Disneyland and discussed Leo coming with us, I was ecstatic. Fast forward through middle school, puberty, high school dances and prom, graduation and matching tattoos from The Lion King, one of our favorite movies, we were inseparable. Along with these memories were fond remembrances of our yearly camping trip near Pride Pond. I loved our weekends of endless fun, from fishing and swimming to hiking and late-night campfires. We always camped in the same spot every year when I was growing up, and as I was keeping tradition alive, I started doing it with my friends and my eventual fiancé, Tucker. Meeting Tucker in college seemed to be the cherry on top of my ice cream sundae of life. He only added to Leo's and I's friendship. Fast forward again to current times, I was excited to spend some quality time with someone I considered a brother and someone I was looking forward to spending the rest of my life with. I wanted them to bond and for all of us to relax before the wedding. It was already getting dark, so we hurried to set up our tents and start a fire. After cooking some hot dogs, Leo kept up our yearly tradition of telling each other scary stories, except this time seemed different. You know, there's a legend in these woods far scarier than any living creature, Leo said. The image of his face lay behind the flickering flames. Ooh, spooky, barked Tucker. I slugged him in the arm. Leo laughed and then abruptly stopped and stared at me. Ariella knows what I'm talking about, right? Leo asked. I decided to go along with it, assuming it was just a joke to scare Tucker. Obviously, how could I forget? I exclaimed. Tucker rolled his eyes, but Leo went on anyways, telling us about a spirit so angry it destroys those who perceived it to have done them wrong. Tucker and I both retired to our tent, but after, something in my gut felt off. I fell asleep to the sound of Tucker unzipping the tent and whispering, I gotta take a piss, hon. I'll be right back. Uh-huh, I mumbled. Suddenly, I was abruptly awoken and ripped from my tent. I couldn't hardly believe this was happening. Where was Tucker, I thought. As I spun around, I spied the dark silhouette of my assailant pointing a gun in my face. I was quickly bound at the hands, and that's when I saw it. The paw print tattoo between his thumb and pointer finger. No, it couldn't be, I thought. Without skipping a beat, I screamed, Is this a sick joke, Leo? I assure you, it's not, he said, with the most calm demeanor despite the situation. He did not seem at all concerned about my confusion. It started to rain, and the sting from the raindrops pierced my face like a million tiny knives. I love you, he blurted out. And that's when I noticed Tucker lying on the ground next to him, looking as if he'd been knocked out with something. All these years, and you never saw it. I could never be more than just your best friend, and I wanted more than that. Your engagement was the last straw. The sweet sleep of death awaits. Remember my sins. Without hesitation, he pointed the gun at Tucker and pulled the trigger. The sound was deafening, but the pain was endless. This man who I had loved with all my heart was gone and at the hands of someone I trusted with my life. He had been the snake in the grass, the jealous brother, and the lion sitting in wait. I was numb. I couldn't move. I could barely breathe. It was all so surreal. My focus snapped back to reality when he ordered me to get into the motorboat. Sitting at the latter end of the boat, my mind and body was frozen with fear as Leo loaded Tucker's lifeless body into it. I realized we were near the center of the pond when the boat stopped, and at that moment I decided to fight. As Leo struggled to push Tucker's body into the water, I made my move. Remembering Leo's lack of swimming skills, I waited till his attention was distracted and charged at him, sending him into the pond. Leo was frantic as he clung to the side of the boat, and with my adrenaline pumping, I screamed, "Why, Leo, why?" as I bit down hard on his hand. After releasing his grip, he struggled for a bit and then disappeared beneath the water's surface. It took me forever to reach shore because of my bound hands, but once I did, I ran straight to our car and called 911. Not long after, the police arrived, but I was shocked to learn over the next upcoming week that Leo was never found. The experience has forever changed me, but despite everything, I will remember who you were, Leo. Sadly, true horror sometimes lies in the minds of those who are closest to us.